All right. Good evening, everyone. This is Vivian de Guzman, and we have a very, 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 very special guest tonight, Dr. Sandra Hanna. Of course, I met Dr. Sandra Hanna through Ms. Sandra Pascal, our upline diamond, and Dr. Sandra Hanna is also a diamond. Is that correct, Dr. Hanna? I think she's Hawaiian. She's a very gentle soul, very warm, loving heart. That's all I can tell you about her. Her patients love her. She is in Aliso Viejo or Laguna Niguel. Okay, wait, I forgot. I also unmuted you. I apologize. Hold on a second. There. Dr. Hanna, please correct me if I'm wrong. Where is your clinic at?
We're in Laguna Niguel.
Laguna Niguel, okay. And her staff loves her, her clients love her, we all love her. So, without further ado, she is a holistic chiropractor, and she's also an acupuncturist. And somehow she fell in love with doTerra. And our topic tonight is how she's going to teach us how we can share doTerra essential oils with healthcare practitioner. So thank you, Dr. Hanna.
You're welcome.
For being with us. She is we call her a sister crossline. So she's not even under me, over me. She's kind of beside us. So this is a whole family team. So thank you so much for being here tonight. Okay, Dr. Hanna. So I know you've been featured in Leadership Magazine, and we wanted to know what you meant by symbiosis. Like how do we actually help other people, other doTerra wellness advocates to introduce doTerra, which is a natural product, to like traditional medical doctors.
Can you show the next slide, Vivian?
Practitioners, yeah.
Can you put up the next slide, Vivian? There you go. Thank you.
Okay, so what I meant by that quote, well, first of all, symbiosis is very common in nature. You see it all over the place in the animal kingdom. We work better together. But what I meant by this specific quote is doTerra and health-centered businesses work really well together. They have a natural symbiotic relationship. doTerra feeds the health-centered business, and the health-centered business obviously feeds the doTerra business. They work hand in hand very well.
So when you say health-centered business, I think of like acupuncturists, colonics, massage places. Do you see any working hand in hand with traditional medicine?
Yes, I do. I do believe that it's going to be a harder sell for the actual medical doctor to do a doTerra business. I do believe that there are some ethical licensure restrictions. Kind of like the same restrictions working with a marriage and family therapist. You can't really have a patient in your downline. However, there's different creative ways around that.
Got it.
So Dr. Hanna, how do we bring about, let's say we're speaking with a health-centered business person like a chiropractor or acupuncturist. How do we bring up this topic of symbiosis with them so that they can see what we're trying to, they can see the connection?
Okay, so I tell my team that anytime you talk to anybody, chiropractor or health-centered practitioner or anybody, you're always going to lead with the oils. So I always have them start with sharing the oils. You have to sell the oils first. If you like the oils, then you talk to them about the different options that are available for them. Some are going to just do retail in their business, and that's fine. However, you can always inspire them to look at the grander scheme of things, and share with them the how much money you can potentially make with doTerra, which is kind of what sold me on actually going, all the way with doTerra myself. But I personally signed up to have another tool in my toolbox to treat my patients, to treat my family members, to treat myself. I was sold on the oils first, and then I looked at the business opportunity second. And that's how I like to present it to my colleagues.
Got it.
So did you start with the 10 oils that are in the Home Essentials kit, or are there certain oils?
No, I bought every oil kit.
Every oil kit. Okay.
Got it.
Now, we have met some chiropractors that are very hesitant to invest in that all oil kit, which is what we always advise them to do. What oils, if they were just going to start with a few, would you suggest?
Yeah, what are favorites?
Yes.
I mean, the Aroma Touch Diffused is a really good kit. I love those oils. The Deep Blue, the Balance, the Lavender, that's what I use a lot in my visits. Okay. I have them in all of my rooms.
Okay.
Deep Blue, Aroma Touch, Breathe, Lavender, Balance. Those are some of the ones that I use on a everyday basis.
So you probably start off with the lavender, right?
I start off with Balance, actually.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Balance.
That's my go-to. I call it my chiropractor in a bottle.
Okay.
That's great. That's so true.
That's so good. Usually you apply it to the spine then, if it's a chiropractor in a bottle.
Yeah.
Yes. Or, anywhere where they have their main ailments, their neck, sometimes I'll do it on the neck, but mainly on the lower back because of the connection there.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember you saying when we were together at Jessica Moultrie's house that somehow if they have a leg length discrepancy, Balance helps with that a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it enhances your adjustments.
Definitely.
Okay, perfect.
That's good.
So share with us a little bit of your story, because I know Sandra approached you a few times, right? Before you even said yes to her. Like, what's the usual
Is she on the line? Have her share
she
it.
is here.
Have her share it.
Sandra, go ahead and share.
You got to unmute her.
I'm here.
Okay, she can unmute herself. Okay, perfect. Go ahead, Sandra.
Well, thank you, Dr. Hanna. Dr. Hanna is really one of the most beautiful people I've ever met. And I know, and thank you, I get the kudos that, I was able to gain her trust and give a moment of her time to allow me to share what these oils are. But I've learned so much from her and the team that she's creating. And I know we're here to talk about business, and everybody's like, I want to know how to enroll a chiro. I know how to enroll a chiropractor. And above anything, before Dr. Hanna's title as a chiropractor, she's just a person, and she's a mother and a wife. And that's how really, you should approach anybody just as a human being. And you have these oils and you just share your experience. Like, just pick out your favorite and share it with that person. It doesn't matter what title they have. And yes, I did introduce the oils to her, but it wasn't an overnight kind of a thing. And I invested a lot of time, and, she's busy. Like I said, she's a mother, she's a wife, and she runs a full-time wellness center, and and she has employees, and, it's very busy. So I went to one of her events. She was having a patient appreciation event. And I actually was sent to her through the Chamber of Commerce. I joined the Chamber of Commerce in our city, and they said, hey, this wellness center is having an event. I think that would be a great lead source for you. And I was like, I'm there. So I went and I met her for like literally like 2 minutes. That was it. And I just kept engaging with the staff there. It just happened that Dr. Julie, one of her other chiropractors, is very active in networking. You know, she goes out representing the wellness center at events and trying to, you know, share with patients their wellness center and, you know, try to get them to try out their services. And I just basically tagged along with Dr. Julie from event to event to event to event. Number one, I wanted them to see that it was the real deal. Number two, that I was committed. And number three, that I wasn't wasting their time. So I led with the product, that it was the real deal. Two, my commitment. And number three, that, you know, I was serious. I'm not wasting their time. So finally, about 4 months later, Dr. Julie was like, you know what, Dr. Hanna, I think you should give her some time. And I got the call, and yes, of course I was ecstatic, and I couldn't believe it. And I had a lot of things to say, but I just kept it simple and just did the intro. And then at the end, you show her the kits, and she said, okay, thank you. Let me think about it. I think I'm going to go, I'm leaning more towards the natural solutions kit, but let me just digest all of this. And that was it. And then I got a call from her on Monday. That was the Friday. And then on Monday, she said, sure, I'd like to see you again. And I'm going to go ahead and get I don't know if she told me on the phone that day or when I saw her that she was going to get the every oil kit. And I do think I might like have skipped a beat, because I had never sold a kit like that before. I had been doing DoTerra for 8 months, and it was just like, what? Mm-hmm. So I also remember that this is, again, Dr. Hanna has a reputation. She's built her wellness center from the ground up, and integrity and trust was huge. She was allowing me to come in to, you know, in her space, in her office with her patients that trust her. They put their health in her hands, and you have to take that really serious, guys. Like, it's not about making the sale. It's really about taking into consideration that these are patients, and this doctor is, if you have the privilege enough to be able to spend time in their office, that they're saying, yes, come in, teach these classes, show me how to do this, like, go above and beyond. And you should be doing that for everybody in general. It's just a little different when you're dealing with somebody's business and their livelihood. So that's really how it worked out. And Dr. Hanna had been approached many times as a business owner. You know, she's always emails, faxes, calls, you know, people always coming in. They have the next best thing. And I believe from the bottom of my heart that we do have the best thing to offer. And that was pretty much how it all happened. But as always, just don't focus so much as like, oh my gosh, if I enroll a chiropractor, I'm going to go diamond the next day, or I'm going to make all this money or whatever, like their patients. Like, no, just go in with, just like Dr. Hanna said, it doesn't matter who you're sharing with. Just tell them what your favorite oil is and why. I've noticed that from going, because think about it, guys, now it's been 3 years later, and Dr. Hanna is only the second chiropractor that I've ever enrolled. You know, and my success comes from all kinds of people, you know, so it's not just, you know, don't stress yourself out so much. And when you approach them, just remember they're people just like you and me, and don't try to use fancy words or big words. If you're trying to show them medical studies or research or whatever, print it out and hand it to them, and maybe highlight what you want them to see. Don't do what I did. And I was like stumbling over my words. Like, just keep it simple. They're doctors, just give them the information. They read all the time, that they spend half of their time reading. So that's pretty much it. That's how it all went down.
Thank you. Thank you for
My
that.
pleasure.
Thank you. So Dr. Hanna, are there any, special practices that you do? We have a lot of builders in the call, and they are looking for that special wisdom of yours. How do we build a team that is in integrity with a very good foundation, solid foundation? You know, how do we collaborate that all the principles that DoTerra is giving us. We're in alignment with that as we actually build our business.
Well, just coming back from leadership, I was really impressed. Did Sarah Jansen talk on your day, or was it the day before? Was it Diamond Day, or was it?
What was the topic about?
Sarah Jensen?
Yeah.
The couple that's moving to Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
I think they were our Diamond Day, Dr. Hanna. I think so.
Sorry. Well, I was, it's all about supporting each other.
Sure.
You know, I'm not on your team, but I'm here to support because other people, cross-legs, have supported me too. And they didn't get any money out of talking to me and supporting me. That's our culture. That is our values. As a doTerra builder, we're helping each other grow. And again, it goes back to that symbiosis. We work better together. Our whole compensation plan is also dependent on that. I get a share of everything that doTerra is making. Once you get to Premier and above, you make a share of everything that doTerra is making. And so the cool thing is our compensation plan is based on how we all work together as a team. And that's what our culture is creating. So create that in your team. We work better together. And that's why I think the unilevel works so well together. If your direct upline can't help you, go up or go cross line. And we help everybody out. And, there's so many different people on your team, Vivian. Use each other's strengths. We all have our different strengths, and we can balance out our weaknesses by working and utilizing different people's strengths. So don't hesitate to reach out and ask for help within your team. Not just your team, your downline or upline, but also crossline.
Thank you. Okay. So how do you balance, like in your own wellness center, like the retail side and the enrolling wellness advocates or wholesale customers?
I just show them the value. If they just want to try, if it's just one oil, they're going to just buy one oil. I just sell it to them retail. There's no reason to get a wholesale account. Okay. But if they're going to get a couple more oils, I show them the value. I actually do the math for them. Excuse me. And I show them how much it would be retail and how much it would be to sign up. And that's how I usually sign people up. It's not through kits, but it's through what they specifically need for a specific condition.
Okay.
And even if it's a wash, if it's the same amount retail and wholesale, they're going to sign up because I tell them, hey, even if you're going to order one more time this year, it's going to behoove you to sign up. And so that's what I do. But a retail, it's not like a 4-letter word. It's like a gateway. If they just want to try it, it's much cheaper on your part to sell them retail instead of giving them samples.
Got it. Okay.
Just a thought.
Yep. Thank you. Awesome. So Marie, do you have any financial question there? She's our financial planner, so.
Oh, cool.
I let her go through the financial side that way.
Okay.
Marie, any financial questions? You got to unmute yourself. Let me see. There, I unmuted you.
Okay, I'm actually looking at your article because the article they wrote about you was such an amazing article. And so if you don't mind me asking, in terms of your wellness center business, you mentioned you mentioned when they were interviewing you how how the doTerra is almost like doTerra is an investor in my center now, and you said that, which is so awesome. And I guess my question would be, how much, if we were looking to look at it in terms of financially, how much is doTERRA enhancing your wellness care center business?
So I have a bit of a different situation. I made a good amount of money before having kids, but I was working 6 days a week. What doTERRA has done for me is allowed for me to go down into about 2.5 days a week.
Nice.
Still make somewhat about the same amount of money. So it's kind of replaced. But I have yet to get into the level where it would like multiply. I'm working on that part.
The fact that it's replaced is already substantial. You know? Yeah, that's amazing.
I'm able to work less, seeing less patients, and spend more time with my children.
That's huge.
Yeah, it is huge, especially for working moms out there. But, you know, it takes work. You know, I had to create some time to dedicate to doTERRA to get to at least this point. So, you know, there's some weeks that it took me away from my family. But, you know, now I could say if I was gone a week out of my practice, I would have a little bit of income coming in.
Right.
You mentioned here that you plan your weekly schedule and that you carve out 5 to 10 hours a week for doTERRA. That's currently, right? So in the beginning, was it more than 5 to 10 hours when you were working on getting that kind of getting your dream to happen?
It was about 10 to 15 hours, usually 5 to 10 hours during the weekday. That's all the time I have. I'm just really efficient with my time.
Good teaching too.
I'm just, you know, I am super busy in the office, and then out of the office, I'm super busy with my family. So I only had a certain amount of time. You can get to leadership goals by doing that amount of time. You just have to be really efficient in what you do. You have to do your pipes. You have to prepare my Sundays. It's all about preparing. So I have a little bit of break. I mean, look at, this is my calendar. Okay, I'm old school. But that's what my calendar looks like. Every spare moment, it's dedicated to something. And, you know, some days it's exhausting. You got to also get your self-care in, or it's going to fall apart. Which, you know, some weeks I don't schedule self-care, and yeah, it doesn't work so well. It's a nice little balancing act. It's a juggling act.
Yeah. So a lot of health-centered businesses are not very open about bringing doTERRA into their clinics. How did you utilize your center to expose doTERRA to your existing clients, to your wellness center clients?
Oh, it's super easy. It's so I have the oils there, but I also have other supplements too, not just doTERRA. And I think that also gives credibility to doTERRA. And I just show them, hey, this is a great system of health. It gives you a great discount, and it gives you points for every dollar that you spend. I'd like to eventually get you on these products. And that's all I do.
Now, do you also have classes for your clients and others in your clinic, right?
We have, I maybe do a class once a month personally, but most of my classes are now taught by my downline. And they have a lot of fun with continuing education classes, intro classes, and so forth. And
they're done in your clinic, correct? Most of them? Yeah, wonderful.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know I had one more question, and it just eludes me now.
She has one more question.
I know.
Do you meet other chiropractors too, Dr. Hanna, like in your spare time?
Yeah.
You do?
Yes. I have a networking group that is consistent with just chiropractors. So that's where I go network.
Awesome. Yep. So it's
oh, now I remember my question.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So one of the comments that we've gotten from some of the chiropractors that we've spoken to is they felt that doTerra would actually be a hindrance or to their existing business, that it would actually affect their income downwards as opposed to upwards in their existing business. What would you say to those health-centered professionals who say that? Where
I don't think it's ever been a hindrance.
Mm-hmm.
There are some clients of mine, that they don't come in as often. I will tell you that. Am I going to tell the chiropractors? So what I tell them is that you're just helping them, empower them to take better care of themselves. I mean, that's our job as chiropractors to do. So if they're a hindrance to that, then I don't think their heart is at the right place.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry, that's just an opinion.
Yeah. And then another...
It hasn't slowed my business down.
Right. It's giving you more time for yourself and your
Kinda. Not yet. Maybe later.
It's getting there. So another comment I got from a chiropractor is the market saturated? Like,
well, you heard from leadership. It's not.
Yeah, we did.
It's we just did a health fair in Orange County at a school, and it was cool. It was all just to students, no enrollments, nothing. It's just all educating students, and a lot of the students knew what essential oils were already.
Oh, interesting.
But we are in South Orange County. It's a very, very affluent school, and it was kind of cool to know that. But are they using the right essential oils? Probably not. So there's always a way. There's always a way. I don't see that as a hindrance at all.
Awesome.
Thank you.
It's an opportunity.
All right, so let's open it up to whoever has any questions for Dr. Hanna. Please unmute yourself.
Hi, it's April. I have two questions.
Go ahead.
Hi.
The first one is like what you and Sandra said, is to always lead with the product first instead of the opportunity of the business. But do you lead in a sense where it's for your own personal self-care and not, hey, this is something that you can try for your business, your clients and your patients?
Yeah, a lot of times they're gonna get a kit for themselves and for their family members first, just kind of like what I did. I tried it for myself and my family members, and then after that I was all in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And my second question is, I have PAs and MFTs, like you mentioned, you just don't cross the line when it comes to patients and clients in your downline. So how do we get creative on structuring for that?
So I have an MFT that's on my second level. She just turned silver. She's doing amazing. And so what she did was some of her clients that we signed up, she gave to me. She didn't sign them up. And I gave her a couple of clients from that. And I, because she gave me a couple of enrollments out of it, I gave her my incentive trip to Cancun. So there's options. You just have to be creative, have a wingman, have maybe 2 legs of MFTs that they refer people together so they're not specifically underneath each other. But, eventually you might want to get out of it entirely if you really want to just do all doTerra. And I believe that's what my MFT is doing. She's letting her license lapse, and she's just doing all doTerra because she feels more in alignment with that than continuing to do therapy.
Interesting. Awesome.
Okay, so when you gave her the incentives, it would be like a referral, like when you give your friend, like A referral.
I actually signed her enrollments up. So they were not on her team because she couldn't have her patients underneath her,
Right.
clients underneath her. And then, I haven't given her any enrollments personally, but I gave her my incentive trip to Cancun instead.
Okay.
So there was a
mutual exchange.
Something else.
Yeah. Awesome.
And then eventually, if they stop, their client professional relationship, I can, I can do an exemption and I can move her back.
Yeah. Awesome.
If they want to do the business. If not, then, keep her there.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else who has a question?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I do.
Go ahead.
What? You don't get any time. You get all the time.
Sorry, baby. Dr. Hanna, can you give us 3 things not to do when approaching a chiropractor or a wellness center? Thank you.
3 things what not to do. Don't douse people with oils. Especially past tense. If you use that one to share with me, Sandra, I think I would have walked the other way.
Wow.
Don't be somebody that you're not, and always continue to speak from the heart and be humble and just always again just be humble and human and be there for the right reasons, that you're just trying to be service minded. So when you work more from here instead of here, you're always going to get in trouble. I find myself doing that a lot. Sometimes I switch that and I get into like strategy mode, and it always loses. I always get burned out that way, but when I always work from here, the burnout never comes. So that's my final thoughts.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
And our last
Thank
line
you.
is, let's take healthcare one drop at a time.
There you go.
And
thank you, ladies.
thank you, Dr.
Have a
Hanna.
good
Thank
one.
you.
Have a great
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.